52 Traders, episode 67. Now, guys, before we get into the show, I want to share with you a quick story. So, imagine this. You're down at the bar, you've gone to your local pub, you're out for a drink, and you've got a friend that turns up, and he says, look, hey, mate, I can give you all of this stuff for free, all this knowledge about trading the markets. And I've gone and interviewed heaps of successful traders, and they've told me how they do it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you exactly how they do it. I'm going to share that with you today over a pint. And the question to you is, the conundrum that you've got is, would you buy that friend a beer to tell you all these secrets? Now, if you would, and you're wanting to do the same with me, then you can jump onto 52traders.com/beer, that's BEER, and you can buy a beer at the bar. Okay, guys, let's get on with the show.
This is a business of making money. It's not a business of being right or wrong.
Over the next year, your host, Cam Hawkins, gets inside the minds of 52 of the world's best traders to find out if he has what it takes to become one of them. Join Cam every week on the 52 Traders podcast or at 52traders.com to learn how to trade like the pros. This podcast is for educational and entertainment purposes only and is not investment, trading, or financial advice of any kind. Trading is very risky and could lose you all of your capital. Any comments about historical performance are not an indication of future results.
What's up, traders? Welcome to another installment of the 52 Traders podcast. I'm your host, Cam Hawkins, and today we have another trading legend on the show. So this is another Larry. We seem to get a lot of Larrys. There's a lot of Larrys around. I don't know if there's a sort of correlation here between the name Larry and being a good trader, but anyway, we've had Larry Williams, we've had Larry Tentarelli, and now we've got Larry Pesavento. So this guy here is one of the trading greats. I think he's actually a personal friend of Larry Williams, and he's written 11 books. So a lot of books that he's written about trading. A lot of you will probably know who he is, and he's even into financial astrology. So does a bit of work in the financial astrology space. He's on the NFA, SCC. He's never had a complaint against them in all his years trading. He's not a marketer. He's a trader, and he talks about how he has made at least, and I'm like being really sort of, I suppose, I'm not trying to big him up here, but he's made at least $1 million. At least $1 million. So if you haven't made $1 million yet, then this guy's probably worthwhile listening to. Okay, right. So what else do I want to tell you before we get into this great show that we've got lined up for you today? Well, just want to say thank you first to those guys that did buy us a beer at the bar over the week. There was quite a few of you, so I'm not going to list off the names this week, but I will do in future weeks, hopefully. And last but not least, if you are looking to automate your trading and you do want to handle that, you want to find out the easy ways, the shortcuts to do this, then please jump over to my other site, automatemytrading.com, and you're going to actually see me put together a full trading robot right there in front of your eyes, and you're going to walk away with it at the end. All you need to do is jump on the site and opt in, and I actually have got some new ways to become a member as well, so you want to check that out. So it's much more affordable now. Okay, guys. Let's get on with this week's show and welcome Larry Pesavento. Okay, welcome Larry. Thanks for joining me here on the 52 Traders podcast this week.
My pleasure to be here, Cam.
Well, look, it's great to have you on the show, and I've already mentioned some of your highlights, so I know that's just a small part of your story. And can you tell us a little bit about you personally and what sort of first attracted you to trading?
Sure. I'm from a little town in southern Indiana, a little farming community, and I went to school in a little Catholic school, Jesuit school, for 12 years, and I went on to college, and I was a pharmacist is what I was studying to be, but I went to get a master's degree in business in Indiana, and during that time I had a college professor from Yale, and he had a class in statistics. This is 1959, and he started to talk about statistics, but he related everything to the stock and commodity markets. And, statistics can be very boring, but the way he taught it, it was really quite interesting because he made it into dollars and cents, and he had some ideas and stuff, and he sort of befriended me, and we became pals. He was about 10 years older than me, but he hung around in the fraternity that I belonged to. He was one of the old guard from. He went to Yale, and so we got to know each other a little bit. And as I got to know him more and more, he told me what he did and invited me over to his house a few times. And he had these used charts of corn and soybeans and Chrysler and Montgomery Ward, up on his wall in his office. And then we started chatting a little bit about that. And he got interested in some things that I was interested in. And I took another class from him about a year later. This was about 1961. And he was talking about an old economic law called Gresham's Law, where bad money drives out good. And basically what it was doing is the price of silver was very, very low in price. It was about $1.40 an ounce, and the U.S. government announced they were going to get rid of all their stockpiles by redeeming all of the silver certificates in the United States. These were $1, $5, $10, and $20 bills that said pay to the bearer on demand, 1 ounce of silver. It's not a Treasury note. Right now we have Treasury notes. This was actually a U.S. Treasury bill redeemed by silver. We used to have gold notes too, but those have since long gone 80, 90 years ago. Well, anyway, we accumulated these bills over a period of a couple of years, and the price of silver started going from $1.40 to $1.80 to $2 to $2.40 and to $3. When it got to $3, you couldn't find the bills anymore. You used to be able to pick them up in the supermarkets and pharmacies and places like that, and you could accumulate them. In other words, you'd give them an old bill or a new bill, a Treasury note, and they would give you back a silver certificate. And these silver certificates became very valuable because companies from large cities like Indianapolis and Chicago would come into our town and offer to buy these certificates for 150 to 200% of their value. And so you were making, 100 or 200% on your money. Well, I had an uncle who was very big into sports betting, and he actually handled the football cards for the area there where they, bet on these parlay cards. And he did a bunch of other stuff too. But he was very, very smart, and he had accumulated a lot of money, and these were old bills. And so I convinced him to turn these old bills over to get the new bills. I said you could double your money, in a matter of a few hours. And since I was the firstborn in the family that had gone to college and they trusted me, he started me out with $5,000. I drove over in Indianapolis. I converted it into $12,500. I drove back. I gave him 10, and I kept 2,500. This is when the minimum wage was $1.25. So this was a lot of money. You could have bought 3 Corvette automobiles for that amount of money. Well, I kept rolling over his money for quite a bit, and I accumulated quite a bit of money, about $47,000 over a period of about a year and a half. And that's, I'm in pharmacy school, and I'm saying, what do I want to do this for, man? I want to get in where the money is real easy. Well, I finished pharmacy school, and I started to speculate through that time, and I went to work for a big pharmaceutical firm, Eli Lilly, and I stayed with them for 11 years, and I was trading all during that time, and finally it came to the point where I was having more fun and making more money trading than I was, working, and so I decided to become a full-time trader. That was 1975, the fall of 75. And then shortly thereafter, I went to work for Drexel Burnham Lambert and ran their commodity business in Beverly Hills for 6 years, and had a wonderful 6 years. It was probably the best 6 years of trading that I ever had, and I've had some good ones. Then I went to the Chicago Mercantile Exchange in Chicago, where I traded as a floor trader from 82, 83, 84, and then I went to work for Commodity Corporation in Princeton, New Jersey during 85 and 86. And then 86, I became a full-time self-employed trader, and that's what I've been doing ever since. And then I've been trading. I got so many things that I've done. I mean, that's a bird's eye view of what I've done. That's pretty
it's
much
a great story.
Don't want to bore everybody, but that's how I got to where I am. I'm going to be 77 pretty soon, so I've been doing this a long time. And some people ask me, why do you still do it? Well, my teacher, John Hill, is 91, and he's trading just like I do every day. He gets up at 4 in the morning and trades. And it's not because of the money. It's just the excitement of it. It keeps you young. You meet a lot of really nice people. You get to help some people, and it's just been the greatest profession I could ever ask for. The only other 2 things I'd rather do, I would have liked to have been a professional baseball player. I had neither the nerve or the talent, and I would like to be possibly a professional singer or musician. Again, I had no talent, so this was my only choice.
Yeah, I think we're all in that boat of the professional sports person, and you give that up when you're about 16 and realize that it ain't
I was
happen.
17 when I gave that up. So
okay, brilliant. So that's a great insight into your history and how you've got to where you are now. And I suppose we've got a bit of a gap there the last 20 odd years, from 86 to now. Is it 20 odd years or 30 odd years?
Yeah, 30 years.
30 years. Wow. So so maybe you can give us some insight into what's happening now with what you do. So can you give us a little bit of the stats around your trading? So like the trades that you're placing now, I mean, how often are you placing trades? How long are they running for? What are the winning percentages? I'll sort of just keep asking you a few questions. Okay, so that was the first part of the show. Now, to hear the full episode, the best bits, join the family at 52traders.com. They usually go for about 45 minutes to an hour long. And trust me, these shows are great. They give us so much insight. Now, if you want to get there quickly, all you need to do is jump into the show description on your phone, and there's a link taking you directly to 52traders.com, where you can join the family over there and listen to the full episode. Now, in the rest of the show, I cover off what my traders do differently from the rest of us. So what is it that they're doing that we're not doing? What their typical trading day looks like, what they would do if they had a day job now and wanted to trade for a living, their preferred trading strategy, so actually how does it work? What we should be educating ourselves on when we're looking at a price chart, so what indicators we should use, what price levels, what chart patterns, all those sorts of things. Also, we touch on fundamentals as well, so how do we use news to our advantage? Trading psychology, tips, tricks, techniques, we go through those. Exiting trades, managing trades that you've got running. So we talk about their strategies. They give you strategies for exiting and managing trades. Books to read, websites to visit, all the best ones. Something that you should try and master over the next month. The broker and platform they use. And finally, last but not least, they give us a full trading strategy. So something you guys can try out at home on your PC this week in the markets if you wish. Now, to get the full episode, you need to jump onto 52traders.com, join the family. As I said, it usually goes on for 45 minutes to an hour, and there's a link in the show description, so if you're on your phone, just jump on there, tap the link, and it'll take you straight to 52traders.com. Now, if you're thinking about learning to automate any of your trading, hiring a developer, learning to code, that sort of thing, then before you do that, jump onto my other website, automatemytrading.com. So if you're interested in automating some or all of your trading, then jump onto automatemytrading.com and you'll see me over there. For now, to hear the rest of this episode, all you need to do is click on the link in the show description or go to 52traders.com. See you there.